Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're just gonna do a quick update on the Astra, which I have spent nearly 2 weeks with. I think probably around 10 days. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys how my opinions have changed, if at all. Spoilers, they only changed a tiny bit. But yeah, so let's talk about the Astra more in depth than in the last video. So, as I've mentioned in the last video, this is a relatively expensive Balisong. Is 395 for this toxic entropic anno with the trainer. I think with life blade it's gonna be like 425 or something like that. Don't quote me on that, I am not entirely sure. But yeah, so this, before we even start getting into the nitty gritty, is a more expensive Balisong than most, or at least most titanium trainers. So we'll take stuff like the Superfly, stuff like even the Vixen trainer. This is more expensive in this anodization, but the raw trainer I believe is I believe the raw trainer is 345, so still pretty expensive for a titanium trainer. So keep that in mind when we talk about this whole thing, because it should be more premium than basically any other Thai trainer for the most part, because it's so much more expensive. So yeah, let's talk about it. The Astra, I think, after spending a week plus with it, is the best Thai trainer that I have, or the best trainer that I have in general, since I only have trainers other than the Canyon, because life blades are illegal here. Damn it! So Astra, by far my favorite trainer right now, even accounting for stuff like the Superfly, the Corvus, the Sasori. This thing, damn it. Yeah, okay. Another thing, durability, pretty good, titanium. But yeah, so this thing is really darn good. It flips really well, it is really consistent, and it is super fun. Now, the reason I think this is probably my favorite of my collection isn't because of the consistency per se, even though it is quite consistent other than for one thing, which I'll get to. But this thing is ridiculously fun. So this thing carries momentum like nothing else in my collection, even though it is not really that handle bias. So when I pick this thing up, right, I immediately feel that the handles are carrying a bit more weight than say my Superfly. I can definitely feel that the handles are like traveling a bit faster and without me having to throw them around as much. But when in motion, it really feels like this thing is like flipping on its own, even though my shitty flipping can't show that. But yeah, this thing is relatively effortless to flip if you're not changing directions. If you are, then as with most, pretty handle-biased stuff, pretty end-weighted stuff, it does take a bit more effort, but it is not terrible since it is only a light handle bias. So flipping wise, this thing is super fun, but consistency wise, as I've mentioned just now, it is pretty darn consistent in most things. Your fans, your rollovers, it does them really well. The one thing that is ever so slightly funky that Ethan from Blade Bias also brought up in his recent first impressions, great video, go check it out, I'll link it in the description. But the one thing about the Astra that is ever so slightly weird that I've noticed in like the past week is the chaplains. So the chaplains for the most part are very, very sticky, very good, until they aren't, and then they fly away. It's kind of hard to point out why it just, oh fuck, Jesus. Yeah, it's kind of hard to point out why it just flies away. I honestly cannot tell you. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, for the most part, if you do slightly bigger circles with chaplains, it will be completely fine. But if you start doing the really small circles, it'll be fine for a while, but then it will fly away. So chaplains aren't exactly a pain point per se, but it's something you need to be a bit more careful with. Now, since I've already dropped this thing like 2-3 times in this one video, because it's bouncing off my fucking bed, let's talk about durability. So this is running on Zen pins instead of pinsless, which is what the Aragon was on, I believe. So Zen pins, good for durability, because it is steel on steel. And this thing is solid channel titanium, which means it is gonna be a tank. And it's definitely held up really good. Tolerances, still as good as day one. Granted, I've just looped it like yesterday. So it is definitely wiggling less from that. But yeah, this thing, durability is great. Obviously, since it has been dropped a few times, right, even outside of this video, it does bounce off my bed because it's a fucking bed. And I don't have carpet here because it will get gross. But this thing has definitely hit the floor a few times. Probably less than 10, but still. It has taken a bit of cosmetic damage. So if we look on a safe handle, it's kind of hard to see. Okay, I can't even find it, but okay, I found it. There's this tiny little bit where the anode is scratched off. Probably some other spots, but I just haven't been able to find them yet because they are so small. So durability wise, this thing's great. The anode obviously will take damage if you drop it or scratch it, but that's to be expected. There's nothing wrong with the Balisong itself, it's just user error, you know? And the fact that my bit is bouncy as fuck. But yeah, this thing overall, I would say, value-wise, it is pretty damn amazing, especially considering you get this beautiful Balisong, you get a case, which I now use for my EDC. I carry basically my Superfly and my fountain pen every day. So it comes with a really nice Balisong, comes with a really nice pouch, and it comes with a really, really cool cloth. Or, I guess, kind of display cloth. You don't really use it for anything. But, yeah, if you want to see those, check out my first video, but this thing is a really, really complete package. If anything, the only thing that Thomas could add, or Serum Velocity could add to make this an even more complete package, is like a driver, like a really small one. But, you know, that is kind of a niche thing. Only LUI really does it. But yeah, this thing is really, really amazing. I've been loving it. I think I'll still keep loving it, even if I drop it. But yeah, this thing, I cannot get over how much I like genuinely love it. I'm not trying to shill, I'm not trying to shill Thomas or anything, but this is really good. Both Thomas and Serum Velocity did a great job designing this both aesthetically and performance-wise. It is such a great belly. If you're looking for a grill or just a more expensive piece to add to your collection, I would say definitely go for the Astra. And yeah, this is pretty much about it. I can't speak on a live blade because I can't try it because they're illegal. Why are live blades illegal? I can't attack anybody with a fucking Balisong. It takes like 5 years to open. But anyways, the trainer, I can definitely say, flips well, looks amazing. I love this blade. This thing is great. So if you have the money to spare, if you have the cash to burn, and if you want something really cool in your collection, go for the Astra. I will do a link in the description for Thomas's Instagram. He has some really, really, really cool anodizations to show off on the page. I believe there's this like Blurple Fade that I saw, which was amazing. So definitely go check out the link in my description to check out the other colors for the Astra and some of the other knives as well. But with that said, that's about it, and I will see you guys next time, whenever that is. Okay, bye.